Today's horoscope from Astrology, Gemini, October 3, 2022. There can be a pleasant focus on learning, sharing, and connecting today. The moon cooperates with the sun and Venus in your sign, enhancing your charm and influence. Today and tomorrow, you're in good shape to envision what you genuinely want, but avoid rushing forward with incomplete plans. It's best to keep your expectations reasonable while dreaming of new possibilities. Temporary fixes to uneasy feelings can be tempting but won't remedy long-standing problems. A Venus-Jupiter aspect active and now can push you to reach for more from your life and relationships, but going into this pursuit blind won't lead to satisfying results. You may seek comfort and closeness, but your freedom is also essential to you. There is a compromise or middle ground to work towards, even if it's not immediately apparent. Getting in touch with what you truly desire is complicated, but if you commit to it, it can be rewarding. Simplify and prioritize for best results. With our goddess planet of love and beauty dancing through your zodiac sign, you are the belle of the ball. This is one of the absolute best times of the year for attraction, romance, and pleasure for you. If single, don't waste this sparkle, and be sure to circulate. Reach out to options that catch your eye and entice you. Those committed can easily tap into this magnificent energy by setting aside time for fun, games, and sensuality with their significant other. Don't forget to update your wardrobe or beauty regimen soon. There could be some wonderful sales that you can't pass up. Get excited for what is to come. Your elation is sure to take off as the moon enters exuberant Sagittarius today. With the fiery lunation blazing, you may see it come out in your conversations with your colleagues. You and your coworkers will be bouncing off the walls as you brainstorm together. Just be mindful of being overly honest, as you can be direct without being blunt. Aside from this, the lunar energy may spark a frenzy in your commute. Be careful while you are commuting to avoid an unnecessary accident or altercation. The moon's departure from your income sector yesterday was always going to leave you with a sharp nose for money and a download of information, insights, and messages to unpack. While it is always important not to rush this, even more so when this was the moon's last visit before the sun and Venus returned to begin the most lucrative months of any year. Give yourself some breathing room in order to fully know what your body needs at this time. By breathing room, I mean aerobic exercise. Yoga is a great example of something that gives you the skills to relax and deepen your breath. This is the main benefit of yoga and needs to be understood by those who practice it. Rather than focusing on tightening your butt, let yoga loosen your tight grip on reality and through expanding your lung capacity and give you important perspective. There are always moments of calm before a storm. This is what the current vibrations have to teach you. Be prepared for great changes in your sentimental life and try to keep your serenity before the uncertainties of life in the coming days. Even if the atmosphere is a little electric, don't hesitate to relax and be more open. In this way you will avoid useless conflict and be able to rapidly regain your inner harmony. With no planetary activity in your communication sector and Mercury, the planet of communication, having retrograded back out of Libra last weekend and not due to return for another 10 days, the moon's monthly visit is a valuable chance to ensure the communication lines are open. Before leaving tomorrow, the moon will have formed a friendly aspect to all three planets in your relationships sector, and as they are all in retrograde motion, this is a chance to give your emotional responses, relationships, the past, and unsaid words a voice. With no planetary activity in your communication sector, the moon's monthly visits are key to keeping the communication lines open, and especially after Mercury, the planet of communication, retrograded back out of Libra last weekend. It is the moon's friendly aspect to planets in your relationship sector as it passes through that is making it easier to give your emotional responses and relationships a voice today. Our eyes in the sky. A Mercury retrograde phase can be notorious for causing mixed messages, misunderstandings, and mistakes, but there can be real advantages, and that has been the case for the planet of communication's short double dip back into your relationship sector. With the support of Uranus, in retrograde motion in your communication sector, and Pluto, who moves into his final 7 days in retrograde motion in your friendship sector today, this has been a valuable chance to give your relationships, the past, and unsaid words a voice. As Mercury turns direct, the focus shifts to moving forward. It was just over a week ago that Mercury retrograded back into your relationship sector with a chance to give your relationships, the past, and unsaid words a voice. Mercury's direct turn today shifts the focus back onto the future, with another 9 days to work with the planet of communication before he leaves again. Today adds perfect symbolism to the beginning of the month. A vibrant waxing moon in Sagittarius is an absolutely fantastic way to open up an energetic portal to illuminate the greater aspects of one's life. This is a lesson in leadership for many, and it can be a release of the old ways in the collective struggle. Sagittarius energy asks you to open your mind to new possibilities and walk away from outdated approaches in every realm of life. Everyone is really going to feel this lunar wave, and it might mean that your inner rebel will take priority over other people's expectations. This is also a vibration that could trigger you to step out of the normal way of doing things. Some people might show their inner rage in some way. This moon triggers our solar plexus chakra, asking us to purify and cleanse our anger. The wounds are still here, and some of them are meant to be here for life. In fact, the lesson is to take the path that others are too afraid to walk down, knowing that you might be doing this alone. This is the cost of breaking societal norms. It can be a lonely process, but at the end of the day you'll be grateful for these cosmically aligned shifts. In the morning, the Sagittarius moon sextiles Saturn in Aquarius, offering an emotionally steady start to the day. Under this influence, we are introspective, pondering life's meaning. We wish to make our mark on the world, and with this idealistic aspiration tempered by a pragmatic strategy, we have a good chance of doing so. Hard work is taken up in the spirit of adventure. Old problems can be tackled with a novel approach. It's a good time to speak to elders and take a cue from their playbooks. Discover the causes that drove those who came before you to make a difference. What was their inspiration? Following this, the moon opposes Mars in Gemini, provoking irritation. We've established our morning plan with the intent to make headway, but distractions push us off course. People may require our assistance. Although we want to help, we also feel put out. Why can't they figure this out themselves? Instead of succumbing to frustration, consider temporarily delaying personal plans to aid others. We won't get much accomplished during this commotion anyhow. It's best to address this issue and return to our own interests when things have calmed down.